afternoon children. Hope you all fine at home. I'm happy to see you in this video session of Unit 20 Organ System in Animals. The living organisms are evolved from the simplest to the complex form of organization. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about the digestive system, endocrine system and human reproductive system. So let's move on to this video session.
Hello children. Unit 20, the organ system in animals. In this topic, we are going to discuss about the digestion, excretion and reproduction. We are going to learn about the skin, how the organs is involved in the process of excretion and the role enzyme in the process of digestion process, how it takes place after the digestion process, how the excretion process takes place. All these and all we are going to discuss in this topic. We all know very well they are grouped form of tissues. So not only the tissues, cell, it's a basic fundamental unit for all the living organism in the world. In that it we formed all the cells are grouped to form as a tissues, and tissues are formed in the different organs. So organs are having a different organ system. I'll be telling you one example while we riding our bicycle, isn't it? Our muscular system and the skeleton system. Muscular means our elbow, leg, hand, it's all working. And skeletal system, our brain, our eyes is working, isn't it? So the same way, respiratory, digestive and circulatory systems works to produce energy to the muscles. So all the systems have worked together to coordinate the maintain the body conditions of an organism. So organ and organ systems are appeared first. Okay. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about two or more organs together will be forming the organ system. Here comes the table of organ system in animal. First, what are the organ systems are there? In that organ system, what are the organs and what are the functions we are going to see. First one, integumentary system. What are the organs are there in this system means skin gland. The function is protection, excretion, etc. Skeletal system, skull, vertebral column, sternum, girdles and limbs. Function is which gives supports and shape and form to the body. The third one is muscular system, that is muscle fibers, which have the functions of contraction and relaxation of the momentum. Nervous system, brain, spinal cord, nerves. The function is a conduction of the nerves impulse. Circulatory system, heart, blood vessels. Transportation of respiratory gases, nutritive substance and waste products are the circulatory system's function. The fifth one is respiratory system. The respiratory tract and the lungs is the organ of respiratory system. The function of respiratory system is breathing. The next one is digestive system. Digestive tract and digestive gland. Digestion, absorption, ejection are the functions of digestive system. Excretory system, kidney, ureter, urinary bladder and urethra are the organs of excretory system. Elimination of nitrogen waste products are the functions of a excretory system. Then reproductive system. Here we have a male reproductive and female reproductive. The function is gamete formation and development of the secondary sexual characters. Sensory system. We all know sense organ, eyes, nose, ears, tongue, skin. The function, yes, eyes we can able to visible or we can able to see, smell, hear, taste and touch. Endocrine system, pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid, adrenal, pancreas, spinal body, thymus and reproductive glands. Functions are coordinate the functions of all organ systems. Human digestive system. First we are going to see the human digestive system. In human digestive system, the organs is the digestive tract and digestive glands. What are the functions of digestion system? Is digestion, absorption, ejection. First, what are the food we are taken in, which will goes for the digestion, and absorption will be takes place, and last ejection will be takes place. Okay. First, the process of the nutrition begins with the intake of the food, that is called as a ingestion. After the ingestion takes place, break down the larger complex molecules which will be soluble, that is what are the food items we are eating, that will be crushed and break down into very smaller particles and will become very juicy. That process is called as a digestion. After that process, the digestion takes place into two organs. One is alimentary canal, another one is digestive glands. Alimentary canal is otherwise called as digestive tract or gastrointestinal tract. Structure of alimentary canal. So these are the alimentary canal. First, mouth, pharynx, and then oesophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus. In the digestive glands, the glands associated with the alimentary canal are the salivary glands, gastric glands, and pancreas, liver, and intestine glands. These are the pictures given below. These are the glands is used for the digestive glands. Structure of the alimentary canal. Alimentary canal is a muscular colloid tubular structure. First, in this alimentary canal, we are going to consider as the mouth. The mouth leads into the buccal cavity, into the two soft, movable upper and lower lips. The buccal cavity is the large space. It is like a plate, okay, which separates the windpipe and the food pipe. If you touch in your neck region, you can able to see your windpipe. Below the throat, on the sidewise by the jaw. So jaw bears the teeth. This is the mouth. The next one is teeth. You have so many different types of teeth: incisors, canines, premolar, and molars. So teeth is a hard structure. You all know very well, isn't it? What are the uses of teeth? Just holding, cutting, grinding, and crushing the foods, isn't it? For human being, we have the two sets of teeth. Dihypodont is developed in their lifetime. The first set of teeth is only 20 teeth. That is called as a permanent teeth or milk teeth. Each tooth has a root fitted in the gum. The permanent teeth are 4 types, heterodont. So from that we will have incisors, canines, premolars, versus molar. Types of human teeth. So incisors, which have 8 in numbers, cutting and biting. Canines only 4, tearing and preaching. Molars are 12. It's used for crushing, grinding and mastication. Premolars 8 in number, crushing and grinding. So we have the dental formula. It is I 2 divided by 2, C 1 divided by 1, M 2 divided by 2. So for milk teeth, in each half is upper and lower. So it is 20. For permanent teeth, so I 2 divided by 2, C 1 by 1. So I means incisors, C means canines, and PM is 2 divided by 2, and M is 3 divided by 3. PM is premolar, molar is M. So totally you will have 2 divided by 2, 1 by 1, 2 divided by 2, 3 divided by 3. Into 2 you will get 32 teeth. It's for permanent teeth. For milk teeth you will have 20 and permanent teeth you will have 32. Salivary gland. You can able to see the salivary glands. In the salivary glands you have the 3 pairs of salivary glands. Okay. The first one is a parotoid gland. Second one is a sublingual gland, and third one is a submandibular gland or submaxillary gland. Parotoid gland. It is the largest salivary gland which lies cheeks in the front of ear. So, par means near, oid means ear. The next one is a sublingual gland. It is the smallest gland. Okay. The third one is a submaxillary or a submandibular gland. It's lie in the angle of the lower jaw. Salivary gland secretes the fluid like saliva. Totally 1.5 liters of saliva will be secreted per day. It is used for the digestion process. It acts as a starch as enzymes in the digestion process. It will convert a starch into a maltose. So saliva which contains antibacterial enzymes called lysosomes. The next one is tongue. Tongue is a muscular sensory organ which helps in mixing the food with saliva. So taste buds will be there in the tongue, which is used to recognize the taste of the food, whether it is very salty or spicy. Like that, we can identify the taste with the help of the taste buds. The masticated food in the buccal cavity becomes a bolus, which is rolled by the tongue and passed through the pharynx into oesophagus by swallowing. During the swallowing, the epiglottis closes and prevents the food from entering into the trachea, that is in the windpipe. We will have food pipe and then windpipe. Okay, so two knobs will be open and close. While the tongue is smashed with this food and it is swallowed, it should go to the food pipe. Pharynx. It's a membrane lined cavity between the nose and mouth. It is connected then with the oesophagus. It serves a path of movement of food from the mouth. The next one, the oesophagus, is a food pipe. It's a muscular membrane canal. It have 22 centimeter in length. It contacts food from pharynx to the stomach. It looks like wave-like movement and produced by the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the muscles of alimentary canal. Then it leads to the stomach. Stomach, if you see that, we will have a J-shaped muscular organ. The gastric glands are present in the inner wall of stomach, which secretes a gastric juice. This juice is colorless and highly acidic. Because of this acidic, that is hydrochloric acid, which performs for the digestion. This hydrochloric acid kills a bacteria which we swallowed, isn't it? The food what we are swallowing, the hydrochloric acid kills that. While mucus protect the wall of the stomach. The action of gastric juice and crunching the food in the stomach converts the bolus into the semi-digested food zyme. What is meant by renin and renin? Causes a curdling of milk, protein, caseins and increase the digestion of protein is called as a renin. Ren converts the antigeniotions to the regulates the absorption of water and Na plus from glomerular filtrate. Small intestine. After that, it leads to the small intestines, which having the measuring of 5 to 7 meter, that is 5 to 7 m. It consisted of 3 parts: duodenum, jejunum and ileum. So duodenum is a C-shaped reservoir bile duct which is from the liver and pancreatic duct from the pancreas. Jejunum is a middle part of the small intestine. It has a shortest region. So this is secretion of a small intestine as an intestinal juice like sucrase, maltase, lactase and lipase. Ileum forms a lower part of small intestine. It opens into the larger intestine. It will be having the way to go enter into the larger intestine. Ileum is the longest part of small intestine. It contains a minute finger-like projection is called villi, which have 1 millimeter in its length. Internally, each villi contains a fine blood capillaries and lactal tubes. Small intestine serves both digestion as well as absorption. William Benoit in 1785 to 1853. He is a surgeon who is called as a father of gastric physiology. He is based in the observation he concluded that stomach has a strong hydrochloric acid which plays a very important role in the digestion. He only first concluded he is a father of gastric physiology. Liver. It's the largest digestive gland of the body, which you can able to see in this picture, which have reddish in color, and it is divided into two main lobes, right and left lobe. The left lobe is larger than the right lobe, isn't it? Yes. On this, under the surface of the liver, gall bladder is present. Okay, under the surface of the liver, gall bladder is present. Liver cells which secretes the bile which is temporarily stored in the gallbladder, and it is also having a sodium glycolate and sodium taraglycolate. It is called as a bisalt. So bisalt is used for the digestion of the fat, bringing up the emulsification, that is conservation of a large fat droplets into a small ones. Functions of livers, which used to control the blood sugar level and amino acid levels. Synthesis the photial red blood cells. It destroys the red blood cells and it produces the fibronin and prothrombin used for the clotting of blood, which is also used for a storage of iron, copper, vitamin A and D. It also produces a heparin and excrete a toxic and metallic poisonous detoxified substances including drug and alcohol. Pancreas. In this picture you can able to see the liver, and below the liver you will have the gallbladder and small intestine, stomach, pancreas and pancreas duct. Now we are going to see about the pancreas. It is the lobed leaf-shaped gland which is situation between the stomach and duodenum. Pancreas is act as an endocrine gland as well as exocrine gland. Endocrine part is a pancreatic gland secretes a pancreatic juices, okay, which is contain three enzymes. In the pancreatic juices which have three enzymes is lipases, trypsin and amylases, which is acts on the fat, protein, starch respectively, and these upper surface bears a islet of hangers, that is islets of hangers, which is the endocrine cells creates a hormones in alpha, beta. The alpha cells which always produce a glucogen and beta cells will always produce the insulin. Absorption of food, assimilation of food. What is meant by absorption and assimilation? Absorption is a process which the nutrition is obtained after digestion are absorbed by villi and circulated throughout the body by the blood and lymph and supplied to all the blood cells according to the requirements. Assimilation of the food is means incorporation of the food absorbed material into the tissue cells as their internal homogeneous compounds, that is the fat digestion. Fatty acid and glycerol are called as a fat digestion, which is again converted into fat, and excess fat will be stored in the adipose tissue. So whatever the food items we are eating or intake into our body, the fat content will be stored in the adipose tissue. When excess sugar are converted into the complexes, that is polysaccharide and glucogen in the liver, the amino acids are utilized to synthesize the different protein required for the body. Did you know one thing? The small intestines which have 5 meter long, the longest part of digestion system is a small intestine. Large intestine is a thicker tube but it will have a 1.5 meter long. The small intestine which have 5 meter and the long intestine which have 1.5 meter. Next we are going to see the large intestine. I already told you which have the thicker tube and 1.5 meter in length, and it is the unabsorbed undigested food will be passed into the large intestine. So after the small intestine works gets over, it leads to the large intestine. In this large intestine will have the three parts: caecum, colon, rectum. Caecum is a small blind pouch like structure which is situated at the junction of the small and large intestine. From its blind end, a finger-like structure is called a feriform appendix arises. It is a vestigial organ in the human being. Colon is much broader than the ileum and which is passed to the abdomen on the right and crosses to the left just below the stomach and down on the left side. The rectum is the last part which opens into the anus. After the large intestine's works get over, it will goes to the anum, that is undigested unassimilated portion of ingested food material which thrown out from the body at the anal aperture, that is the waste part, excretory part. Okay, so that part will take place after the large intestine's works get over or unassimilated portion or undigestion portions are thrown out. Here we have the chart showing of digestive enzymes, digestive glands. We have four glands. The first one is salivary gland, gastric gland, pancreas, intestinal gland. Enzymes which have in salivary gland will have a salivary amylase and substrate nutrient is starch and the product of digestion is maltose. Like that each and every one will have enzymes, substrate and product of digestion. After the large intestine's works get over, definitely it will goes to the human excretory system. In the human excretory system, the metabolic activities is continuously takes place in the living organism, isn't it? All the metabolic activities will takes place which not utilized by the body, and it is a nitrogenous toxic waste substances is also produced. That is called as a excretory product. In human being, the major excretory product is urea, and the tissues and the organ associated with the removal of waste products. For example, the human excretory system consists of pair of kidney, isn't it? So the excretion takes place with the help of these pair of kidney. In the pair of kidney, we will have ureter, urethra, urinary bladder. The waste products are accumulated as not eliminated, and it becomes harmful and poisonous to the body. That's why we are excreting this. And another one more excretory organ is kidney or the skin, which removes the water, urea, salt in the form of sweat. So this is another way of excretion. Skin. It's a outermost covering of our body. We all touched our skin and we can able to stretch our skin slightly, isn't it? So it accounts for 15% of adults human weight. Did you notice that? 15% of adult human weight, the skin will be there. There are many structures and glands derived from the skin. The human normal body temperature we all know very well, that is 37 degrees Celsius. When it's get hot, automatically the sweat glands will start secreting the sweat. When in hot climate, that is on summer season of May, April, like that, automatically our body secretes more sweat, which that sweat contains a small amount of chemicals. What are the chemicals are there? Like ammonia, urea, lactic acid and salt, and mainly sodium chloride. The sweat passes through the spores in the skins and gets evaporated. The next excretory organ is kidney. We already discussed about the kidney, which have the pair of kidney, and it has a bean shaped and reddish brown in color. So kidney always lies on the vertebral column of abdominal cavity. The right kidney is placed lower than the left kidney. So the kidney, which has a size of 11 centimeter long, 5 centimeter width and 3 centimeter width. So this kidney is covered in the layer of fibrous connective tissue, renal capules and adipose capules and fibrous membrane. So inner part of the kidney, which has a dark in color, which have cortex, medulla, uniferous tubules, that is called nephrons. So medulla also is there inside the part of the kidney. So urethra, urinary bladder and urethra is the another parts of kidney. Urethra is the thin muscles which emerge into the linus. This is used for carries urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. This urinary bladder will the sac-like structure. Okay, so this pelvic cavity of the abdomen which stores the urine temporarily. It's not permanent. For sometimes only it will store temporarily. Then it will goes to the urethra. Urethra membrane is a tube-like structure. The urine to the exterior. Urethral spirus keeps a urethra, closes and opens only at the time of the urination, while the sac-like texture gets filled. That is, urine gets filled in our bladder. The urethra will open it and we will pass urine. Function of kidney, which used to regulate our body balance, acidic basic and osmotic pressure in blood, which is also used as a plasma constitution like glucose and amino acids. Now we are going to see the mechanism of urine formation, which have the three states. One is a glomerular filtration, tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion. The urine will be formed, that is, it begins a filtration of the blood. The filtrate is called as a glomerular filtrate. So, essential and non-essential things are always present in the blood that will be filtered. Tubular reabsorption. The filtrate, that is a proximal tubule, consists of essential substances like glucose, amino acid, vitamins, potassium, sodium, bicarbonates and water. It's reabsorbed into the blood. That process is called as a selective reabsorption. Tubular secretion. The substance like H plus and K plus ion, that is hydrogen and potassium ion, is secreted in the tubule. The tubular filter is finally known as a urine. This hypertonic in man. Finally, urine is collected into the duct to the pelvis and urethra to urinary bladder, and urinary bladder will be filled. The urine will be exposed to urethra. This we already discussed. So, healthy person secretes 1 to 2 liters of urine per day. Mechanism of urine formation. You have three different types of mechanism filtration. First is a glomerular filtration, tubular reabsorption, tubular secretion. The filtration is the blood will be formed as a urine, and the urine, after it enters into the tubular reabsorption, the reabsorptions like potassium, mineral, salt, what are the substances can able to reabsorb, and it can be reabsorbed with the blood. And tubular secretion, at the last waste product will excretes out. Structure of nephrons. Each kidney consists of more than millions of nephrons. In the nephrons are uniferous tubules, which is functional units of kidney, and each is consists of a renal corpus or a Magellan corpus and renal tubule. The renal corpus consists of cup-shaped structure that is called as a Bowman capsules and consists of the bunch of capillaries that is called as a glomerulus. When blood is entered into the glomerular capillary through afferent arteries and leaving out the afferent arterioles, the Bowman capsules constitute the renal tubule, which consists of the three regions which have U-shaped hairpin loop. That loop is called as a loop of Henle. Dialysis. Did you hear the word dialysis, isn't it? It's a artificial kidney. This is used for filtering the efficiency, excess amount of fluid or toxic waste in the body. This condition is known as a kidney failure. So, one person it becomes a kidney failure, the artificial kidney, that is dialysis process, will be takes place. The first dialysis transplant in 1954, Joseph E. Murray and his colleagues at Peter Bent Brant in the Hospital of Boston in USA performed the first successful kidney transplant between the Ronald and Richard, who is identical twins. The recipient, the Richard Herrick, died after 8 years of transplantation. So, when the renal failure cannot treated by drug or dialysis, the patient is want to advised for the kidney transplantation. Next important topic is human reproductive system. In this human reproductive system, we have the male and female reproductive system. The reproductive system of male and female consists of many organs, that is a primary, secondary sex organ. What are the primary sex organ? The primary sex organ are gonads, which produce sex cells, okay, which secretes sex hormones also. The secondary sex organs is the genital duct and glands, which helps the transplantation of gametes. In the reproductive organ becomes functional after attaining the sexual maturity. In males, maturity will be attained to 13 to 14 years. In female, which attains to 11 to 13 years. In this age is known as age of puberty. During this, a sexual maturity, hormonal changes will take place in male as well as female. For example, in a secondary sexual character will deflate in the influence of these hormones only. Male reproductive system. In the male reproductive system, we will have testes, scrotum, urethra, penis and axillary glands. Testes. We will have the testis like outside abdominal cavity of the male. You can able to see in this picture. Next, scrotum is a loose pouch like sac of the skin, isn't it? That is internally divided to the right and left, that is called as a scrotum. And scrotal sacs will be the muscular portion. Vas deferens, that is a straight tube which carries the sperms into the seminal vessels, that is called as a vas deferens, which with the seminal vessels is open the excretory duct. Urethra. It contains inside the penis and convey the sperms from the vas deferens, which passes to the urethral opening. Sperm is the smallest cells in the male body. The normal male produces more than 500 billion of sperms in his lifetime. The process of formation of the sperm is called as a spermatogenesis. The next one is female reproductive system. In the female reproductive system, the primary sex organs are oviduct, uterus and vagina. Ovaries. It's almond shaped like structure. You can able to see this, isn't it, in the picture? The lowest part of abdominal cavity, which is near to the kidney for the female. So ovaries of the female goats, that is egg, which secretes as female sex organ is estrogen and progesterone. Fallopian tubules, that is oviduct. They are paired tubes containing from the uterus, one in the nether side. Terminal part of fallopian tubule is funnel-shaped, finger-like projection called fimbrine lying near the ovary. And uterus, the pear-shaped muscle hollow structure present in the pelvic cavity, which lies a urinary bladder, rectum, and development of tears occurs inside the uterus. Last one is vagina. Uterus narrows down into the hollow muscular tube called vagina. It consists of cervix and external genitalia, which receive the sperms, acts as the birth canal during the childbirth, that is the parturition. Ovum is the largest human cell, which process of formation of ova is known as oogogenesis.